Hello guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to leave a quick message to say thank you so much for helping the channel to reach 20,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable that 20,000 of you are joining us on this Keeping Goals journey. And I know I say it all the time, but your support honestly means the world to me and to Johnny. Thank you for caring about what we're doing, for giving us your attention. I hope we give you some value in return. I can't wait to see where the rest of this journey takes all of us, but thank you so much for the support. If you don't already, make sure you go and follow my Instagram account because we're going to be doing something special on there to celebrate reaching 20,000 subscribers. But that's it from me, just a quick thank you. Your support means the world and I am very grateful. Enjoy this week's episode of Keeping Goals and I'll speak to you in a bit. Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Keeping Goals. If you're new here, my name is Conor and Keeping Goals is a vlog following my attempt at becoming a professional goalkeeper at the highest level of international football. And in today's episode of the vlog, I'm going to focus on what I do to recover after a match. So you see a lot of football channels here on YouTube, a lot of football channels on social media talking about post-match recovery. And to put it simply, post-match recovery is a method that you might use as a footballer or a goalkeeper in order to recover fully, mentally and physically after a game. Obviously, in a season of lots of games, you need to recover quickly in order to get back into training and to prepare yourself for the next game, which is often very soon around the corner. I'm going to tell you in this week's vlog what I do for my post-match recovery, what I find helpful. It's not going to be too scientific, it's going to be quite basic, but hopefully it's going to help you also in your careers as goalkeepers in order to recover quickly and to be ready for the next game. So, we're in the kitchen. The most important thing for recovery after a match is what you eat and what you drink. Normally, straight after a match, also after training, I have a protein shake. Now you'll have seen plenty of these in lots of my videos. I take Maxi Muscle Whey Protein, which on a side note is good for me because it's batch tested. So each bag of the protein that I buy from Maxi Muscle, I know that it's safe for me to use from a doping perspective. As a macronutrient, protein's job is to help you rebuild muscle. So if you've been playing a football match, you need to rebuild the muscles that you have damaged in the process of playing a football match. So a protein shake is obviously very helpful in doing that. So in a 30-gram scoop of the Maxi Muscle protein, I get 21 grams of protein. I've also mixed this with soy milk, 500 milliliters of soy milk in this protein shake, which overall gives me 38 grams of protein. I'm not going to go too technical. You should do some research in terms of the amount of protein you should be taking after a game, but overall you want to be roughly taking about 30 grams of protein after you finish the game. So with 37 in my protein shake straight after a game in the changing room, that's great for me in terms of muscle recovery. I finished the game, come into the change room, taking my protein shake straight away. Might have done a little bit of a cool down in terms of stretching, had my shower. The next most important thing to do straight after a game is to have a full meal in order to replenish the nutrients that you might need to help the recovery process. Obviously, as a high-level athlete, you don't want to be going after a game and eating McDonald's or drinking alcohol. Those are the basics that you all probably know. To get a varied meal full of carbohydrates, proteins, vegetables, in order to cover all the main areas that you need from your food in order to recover, that's what I'm going to be aiming to do. 2-hour window is probably what you want to be aiming for in order to have that full meal, in order to get those nutrients in as quickly as possible. And I'll show you something that will probably help in terms of a recovery meal post-game. So a very simple rice, chicken, vegetables, all mixed together with a little bit of pesto. If you want a full breakdown in more depth of a good diet, good nutrition for goalkeepers, we made a video back in series 2 looking at nutrition for goalkeepers with Fran, who is a trained nutritionist. So go and give that a watch for a more in-depth look at what kind of macronutrients you need. I'm going to eat this and then I will speak to you afterwards. You've played your game, you've had your protein shake, you've done your cool down stretches, you've eaten your meal within 2 hours. What next? The next thing to do to optimize your recovery post-match is to get a good sleep. As a high performance athlete, you need as much sleep as you can to maximize your recovery. Your body repairs itself during sleep. I found that for myself, if I want to perform to the best of my ability the following day after tough training sessions or matches, I need 9 hours sleep. That might sound greedy for the average person who may only need 6 or 7 hours sleep, but for high performance athletes, I've always found that 9 hours suits me best. So for this year, sleep is something that I've really focused on. So after games, I'll make sure that I have my meal within 2 hours. I'll come home, maybe I'll watch a film or do something to take my mind off the game and bring myself down from the adrenaline rush. But I'll make sure that I get in a good 9 hours sleep. I know that doesn't sound particularly exciting to go home, to get to bed, to get 9 hours sleep instead of partying it up or staying out all night. But you really will see the difference if you can get into a good sleep routine which allows your body and your mind to recover after games and training. That could be the 2-3% difference which takes you to the next level. That's game day over and done with. You've done as much after the game as you could possibly do to maximize your recovery. What do you do in the day following game day? Now for me, within 24 hours of a game, I always like to complete what I call a recovery session. I'll go to the gym. You can equally do it at home, but I find that the equipment at the gym best suits what I need for a recovery session. I filmed my latest recovery session, which I did the day after our game against Lincoln Red Imps, last season's champions. The highlights of that game will be up on the YouTube channel very, very soon. So I'm going to show you the footage of what I did in the gym for my recovery session to help myself get back to 100% physically. To begin my recovery session, what I normally do is I just jump on the static bike. I'll probably do about 10-12 minutes on the bike. I normally aim, if you have the option, for around 30-32 kilometers an hour. It's not too quick, you're not trying too hard, you don't want the resistance too high, but you just want to get the legs moving in order to get the blood pumping. Obviously what that does, similar to a warm-up before a session, the blood gets circulating around your body. After games, you may have some stiffness in your muscles. The oxygen in the blood is what will help to remove that stiffness. So, cycling for a little longer than normal, 10 to 15 minutes on the bike in a recovery session, just gets that blood moving around and preparing the body for the recovery session in order to get rid of any stiffness that you might have within the muscles. After I've finished on the stationary bike, I'll move over to a different section of the gym, normally the open floor area. I'll grab myself a yoga mat and I'll start my stretching routine. I did a full video on my stretching routine back in series 2 of Keeping Goals, where I talked through each of these stretching exercises and the benefit of them. I use the stretching routine to stretch off all the muscles that I use during the game. Again, like the bike, I'm trying to maximize the blood to those areas so that I can reduce my stiffness, improve my mobility, and also get myself back to a high performance level. It's mainly static stretches that I'm working on, but also throwing in some dynamic stretches as well. To see the whole stretching routine, go and visit that video that I talked about in series 2 of Keeping Goals, stretching routine for goalkeepers, I think it's called. Now, I'm gonna pause the recovery workout right here just to tell you a little bit more about the next piece of equipment that I use in my recovery workout. I was very fortunate that the other week I was sent this in the post from a company called Pulse Roll. Now, if you followed me in series 2 of Keeping Goals, you'll know my obsession with Pulse Roll. If not, I'm going to tell you all about them now and all about this product and why I love it so much and why I use it in my post-game recovery sessions. So what we've got here in the box is a Pulse Roll peanut ball. This little thing is basically a mini foam roller, but with the added advantage that it's vibrating. It's probably better for me to show it you on a hard surface. So what the Pulse Roll does is it works a little bit like a foam roller, but not in the exact same way. For me, the Pulse Rolls are a step up from the foam roller. Instead, like a foam roller where you need to continuously roll every single muscle in order to get in deep to the target areas of muscle soreness or DOMS. DOMS is delayed onset muscle soreness. With a pulse roll, you don't need to do the continuous rolling. You find an area where you're tender, where you have muscle soreness. Maybe it's an area that you overextended during a game or where you landed particularly hard. You find that muscle, you turn on the pulse roll, and like a foam roller, you put it on the floor, you lean that muscle on the top, and the vibration of the pulse roll gets right into the area where you have the muscle soreness and basically starts to relax the muscle in order to help reduce that muscle soreness and help you with your recovery in order to get back to your next training session or your next game. The Pulse Roll website is on the screen now. Go and have a look at the products that they have. This is just one pulse roll that's available, the peanut ball roll. So I'm gonna go back to the recovery session and you're gonna see how I use the pulse roll. So as you can see, all I need to do is set my yoga mat on the floor and basically get the pulse roll into the areas where I'm feeling muscle soreness. You can use it anywhere if you really need to. It doesn't have to be lower body, it can be your back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, chest, any area of your body that you basically need to get rid of muscle soreness. The Pulse Roll is perfect for that. So again, thank you to the guys at Pulse Roll for sending it across. It's been an absolute lifesaver. Anyway, moving on to the final stage of my recovery session. I've done my spin bike ride, I've done my full body stretch, I've done my pulse roll in order to get rid of my muscle soreness. The final element that I've been using in my recovery sessions is the hot and cold baths. As you can see at the gym, I am fortunate to have an ice bath. Fortunate is probably the wrong choice of words, but this bath is 8 degrees Celsius, so very, very cold. I don't go in the ice bath for a long period of time. What I'll normally do is I'll get in the ice bath for around 3 minutes. I'll then go in a hot shower for 3 minutes, come out the hot shower, go in the ice bath for 3 minutes, and continue. So I'll do 3 sets of 3 minutes in the ice bath and 3 minutes in the hot shower. What I find is the combination of the hot and cold really helps me to get rid of any last bit of muscle soreness that I might have from the games. The benefits of ice baths are well documented. It's not for everyone. I know that some people really, really don't enjoy it, but for me, it's mind over matter. It's never as bad as you actually think. So that's it for this week's episode of Keeping Goals. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it brought you some value. I just wanted to go over what I do for my recovery post matches. I know everyone's recovery days differ. People like to do different things. I wanted to keep it very basic. I didn't want to go too scientific. Make sure you do some research yourself. I've been fortunate to work with some very, very good strength and conditioning coaches, physical coaches during my career so far. And these are the things that I've picked up over the years, from Loughborough University to professional football in England and Spain. There may be some things that I've missed. If there's something that stands out, let me know in the comments. I obviously always want to improve my own post-game recovery routines as well. So if there's something that you use that I don't, that you find very, very helpful, let me know in the comments, because I will definitely add it to my own routine. But I hope this routine gave you some ideas about what you can use post-match in order to recover for your next training session or your next game. And make sure that you are at peak condition physically and mentally after a difficult game. But thank you for watching as always. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Your support means the world to me and to Johnny. Please give the video a like. Please share the channel if you haven't already on your social media. We want as many people as possible part of the Keeping Goals Union. So keep sharing, keep the channel growing as you always do. But thank you for watching this week's episode of Keeping Goals. We've got some very exciting things planned, coming very soon, so make sure you tune in to the next episode, which is at Sunday 1 PM as always. But thank you for watching, thank you for your support, keep chasing improvement this week as always, and I will speak to you in the next one. Thank you for watching, speak to you in a bit. I'm going to put up the pulse roll web